Counter-Strike has been having a rough time recently. The release of CS2 hasn't gone down super well with the player base, and the numbers reflect that. And in this video, I want to ask a pretty simple question. What will it take for the game to recover, and how long is that likely to take? Let's discuss. Now, this video is sponsored by SkinsMonkey. Check out SkinsMonkey to quickly and easily trade your CSGO skins. Use the code ZEUS to get up to $5 extra on your first trade, as well as a bonus when depositing. Link is in the description. Check it out today. So, why have things gone so badly wrong with CS2? There was a lot of hype for this game at first. What's made it such a big letdown? Well, let's just consider some of the big complaints about it. There's a lot of people complaining that cheating is a big problem in CS2. In fact, many people seem to think it's worse. Now, I am skeptical of this because the entire time I've played CSGO, I've been hearing the exact same complaint from the community. Cheating has always been worse than it's ever been, and the game has always been going to die because of it. So, again, I don't take the it's worse than it's ever been stuff that seriously, but cheaters are still a massive sore point for players of the game. There's also complaints that Premier is unbalanced. It either gives them completely unfair matchups or gives them completely unfair rating changes. This was also a huge problem in CSGO matchmaking. I've noticed some revisionist history recently where people seem to be acting like this wasn't a problem in CSGO. These were actually huge issues in CSGO, but nonetheless, this is a massive and very genuine complaint. People are disappointed with Premier mode. They had very high expectations, and those expectations haven't really been met. And there's also much more nebulous complaints about the feel of the game. Now, this is a kind of difficult thing to discuss because it's a mixture of very real problems and also some imaginary stuff that people need to get over. Often people aren't very specific about these issues, or even just molding and making excuses because they miss their shots, but Valve have made a lot of updates to try and improve the gameplay. You wouldn't do that if there weren't problems, and people certainly weren't imagining stuff like the Michael Jackson peaks either. Obviously, a lot of people would also rather 128 tick rather than stub tick, but they are just out of luck there. 128 tick is not happening. Still, the point is, many people are unhappy with the feel of the game. Now, what stands out to me about these three complaints, and I think these are probably the three most common complaints you hear, is that they're either things that were also a big problem in CSGO or really murky and hard to define. And the fact that these are the sticking points for the community makes me think that the real core issue and the reason CS2 has been such a big letdown is actually something else. And that something else is just that there's nothing really new in Counter-Strike 2. In fact, not only is there nothing really new, the game lost stuff compared to CSGO. There's no bob, there's no left hand, there's no danger zone, there's no arms race. We didn't even have community servers initially. There is no new operation, there isn't even a new case, and there's probably a bunch of other stuff people are going to mention in the comments. On top of this, VAC Life did not solve cheating. Premier did not fix all of matchmaking's problems. What you see is what you get is 100% not a thing in CS2. Valve made some big promises, some direct, some implied, but they didn't deliver on those promises. Instead, we've got a game with less features, the same issues CSGO had, some new issues on top of the issues CSGO had, and a new feel that you need to get used to. And this has been a very toxic combination. I know a lot of people would love a new anti-cheat, as they put it, or some kind of fix for matchmaking, but these are likely to always be perpetual problems. They hopefully will get better, I think they probably will, but in an online competitive shooter, I think cheaters and poor matchmaking is always going to be an issue to some extent. CSGO did fine with these problems existing, and I think CS2 can do fine as well. There's never going to be a single update that fixes this stuff. So the solution, in my opinion, is in two other things. First of all, Valve needs to bring back the missing content, or at least as much of it as they're actually willing to bring back. I think some of this stuff isn't coming back, but hopefully a significant amount of it will be. And on top of this, Valve needs to actually add something new. And what kind of new things? Well, ideally I think it needs to be an operation loaded up with new stuff. Story mode missions, new maps, old maps coming back, maybe new game modes, obviously new skins, or maybe even something else entirely. All that matters is that it makes the game feel fresh rather than empty. Now, I'm sure Valve employees know all this as well. I'm sure they know that missing features are a problem. I'm sure they know that the game needs new content. It's just a question of how long. And that is the final thing I want to look at here. How long is it going to take for Valve to get out this new stuff? After all, there's plenty of signs that the CS2 release has taken longer and been far more difficult than they wanted. And Counter-Strike, also famously, has a small development team. So are we miles off the kind of updates that the game needs here? Now, obviously, I'm not on the inside at Valve. I can't be like, oh yeah bro, first week of December, watch out. But I will point out, there are some signs that Valve actually does have new stuff potentially ready to go, hopefully sooner rather than later. We know that Cobblestone was worked on during CS2's development, so maybe it's being saved for some big release. We've also seen comic elements associated with story missions in Operations Dynamite, and it's also obvious that Valve are intentionally delaying releasing new skins. And these are hopefully all signs that some kind of big release may not be that far off. On the flip side though, there are some things that I also think will take a very long time to come back if they ever do. While I do hope they bring back Danger Zone at some point, I don't think that's going to happen quickly. If it does happen, I think it's probably going to take years. How much will that hurt the game? If I'm going to be honest, probably not heaps, but something like that is still a missing feature, and some people did play it and do miss it. But I think the first big content update will probably be enough for the game to recover, assuming that it's got some actual substance to it. And there are signs that that may not be that far off. But at the end of the day, this is Valve that we're talking about, so I don't want to get everyone's hopes up. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. If you've enjoyed it, please like, comment, and subscribe. Otherwise, trust the numbers, not your guts. I'm Jesus. Thanks for watching. See ya.